Hello everyone. My name is Killer and welcome to round 6 of Sunday Sprints presented by Elite Motorsports. Tonight we're stepping onto hallowed ground as we take on one of the most iconic and demanding circuits in all of motorsport. Today we are in Northamptonshire, England at the famous Silverstone circuit. This venue spans 3.66 miles and features 15 turns that flow together in a way few tracks on the calendar can match. Silverstone is not just a test of outright speed, it's a circuit that requires precision, bravery, and rhythm. Every corner feeds into the next, meaning one mistake can ripple through an entire sector. What makes Silverstone so special is not just its layout, but it's the flow of the circuit itself. The circuit rewards drivers who can spring together a perfect rhythm. It's not just about brute force at this track, it's more about finesse at speed. Tonight's event will consist of a 25-minute qualifying session, which you can already see is underway. We've got 15 minutes left in this session, and then followed by a 30-minute race session. Let's go ahead and head to track now and see what these drivers are up to here. Give me 1 second here, fellas. I am having some technical difficulties on my end. Alright, sorry about that. I think we got everything sorted out here. Just having some difficulties with my UI. We are on board here with Mr. Elite Motorsport himself. Doesn't look like he has set a time just yet. One of the interesting things about ACC and the track layout here is that ACC for some reason likes to the track layout is kind of the start finish line is actually on the okay, 1 second here. Alright, sorry about that. Normally the start finish line is located on the Hamilton Straight using the new pit lane, but ACC for some reason likes to use the old pit lane as where the start-finish line is. So turn 1 today will actually be Cop's Corner, followed by Maggots and Beckett's. So let's stay on board here with Elite Motorsport himself and see if he can set down a decent lap. Cop's Corner is all about carrying as much speed as you possibly can before entering Maggots. So far, a decent span of corners for Elite Motorsports. Now heading on to the Hamilton Straight here. This section here is one of the most annoying parts of the racetrack here at Silverstone. Carrying some good speed onto the Wellington Straight. So far it looks like our potential pole sitter here is going to be Mr. Benton himself. He has so far laid down a 1 minute and 59.8. Looks like Mr. Benton here is on an outlap. One of the crucial things about an outlap is getting your brakes and tires up to temperature. Well, it looks like Elite Motorsports here moved into second, and P2 setting a 2 minute .9. Ooh. Got 8 minutes left to qualify. Let's stay on board here with Benton and his Bentley. Decent amount of speed carried there through Cop's Corner. So far he's 1/10 up on his previous best. Nice little rhythm there. Now going through club onto the Hamilton straight. He's now 2/10 down from his previous best. Let's see if he can make it up to the last half of the lap here. Latour in his Ford Mustang is so far in P7 with a best lap time of 2:04. Let's see if he can better that here. Not quite. Not quite. He has 900ths of a second back on his previous best. But it does look like he's carrying on here. So far he's 1/10 up. With only 5 minutes left in qualifying, these guys are going to start really trying to push and get as much as they can out of these race cars. As the track surface tends to get better throughout qualifying and throughout the race, so we should start to see some of these drivers actually put in personal best here towards the end of qualifying. Kyler in his McLaren puts up his best lap so far at a 2:01.1. A lot of these guys that are sitting in the pit lane will most likely try to go out for one more out lap and one more flying lap to see if they can't better their personal bests. O'Donnell is currently on a flying lap, even with his personal best up until this point. Good exit here. The exit through this corner is astronomical for this run out onto the straight. Even compromising that exit a little bit loses you a lot of time down Wellington. Nice and tidy here. Gonna take a late apex. Doesn't look like he's gonna PB here. Be 2/10 short from his previous personal best there. Almost 3/10. not sure if we got a race going on in qualifying here, it looks like. So it does look like Kyler is also on a flying lap here, so. Kyler's currently in P5. He's so far about 1.5 tenths, 2 tenths up on his previous best. So let's see if he can improve and maybe catch up with Elite Motorsports here. I don't think there's going to be quite enough time left in his lap to be able to catch him. It doesn't look like it, unfortunately. Still a decent lap at 2:13. It looks like we just had a driver disqualified for driving in the wrong direction. Well, that would be our pole sitter that just got disqualified. That's an interesting tactic. Let's go ahead and look at the timetables here. So your pole sitter is going to be E. O'Donnell in his Ford Mustang with a lap time of 1:59.9. P2 is going to be, I'm not even going to try to butcher that last name, so I apologize whoever scored P2 here, but with 2 minute and 0.8 second lap time. Elite Motorsports starting in P3 with a 2 minute 0.9. Oh wow. Only missed out on P2 by a tenth and a half there. Jay Collar will be starting in P4. B. Howell will be P5. We do still have a few drivers out on track here, but I don't see Iodani is the only one left out on track here. Yep, so there's your final order. Iodani is your pole sitter with a 1:59.931. Oh, it seems we actually had 2 drivers disqualified here. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Sanders. Sanders or Saunders, however he pronounces it. He or she, I should say.
Seconds.
30 seconds to race start here. Like I said earlier, we have a 30-minute race session here, and we are just about to get underway. Hopefully O'Donnell can get a good start off the line here. And off we are at Silverstone. Looks like O'Donnell's going to try to cut over here in front of Minner. Try to block him off. O'Donnell already kind of pulling a little bit of a lead on P2 here. So far, so good. No issues through Cops or Maggots and Beckett's so far. Side by side for Olivia and Saunders. Looks like Olivia's going to be able to pull the overtake here. Ooh, Benton around the outside. Is he gonna? Nope, he's not gonna be able to make it stick though, unfortunately. Benton right on Olivia's tail here. Ooh, looks like he's gonna try to make it stick around the outside, and he pulls it off. Benton up into P7 here. Olivia goes wide. Is Saunders gonna be able to capitalize on the mistake? Doesn't quite look like it, unfortunately. Let's go back up here to the front of the field. Minier is keeping O'Donnell just in touch, it looks like. Ooh, I was mistaken. It does look like O'Donnell's pulling off almost a 2.5 second gap here on P2. Oh, looks like somebody's off in the gravel up here. Looks like that was Mr. Howell. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Olivia's also off track as well, back in the back. Oh, Benton with a late move up the inside to overtake Mr. Faubert for P7. Let's go on board with Mr. Benton here. Closing up the gap. Is he going to go for a move? Yes, he is. Up the inside of Mr. Rivera. Giving some space. But he does seem to get a better exit, and he now moves up into P6. He's got a little bit of gap up to P5. Mr. Latour up there in his Mustang. But I do have a feeling, considering Mr. Benton was our supposed to be our pole sitter until he somehow disqualified himself. I'm not really sure what happened with that, but I would expect him to close the gap to these next 3 cars up here and try to put on some moves. Mr. Howell's on Kyler's bumper here. Let's see if Howell can close the gap. stretching a little wide. So far he's made up 2/10 on Kyler ahead. Gonna get a little bit of a slipstream here. Does look like we have an overtake forming behind. Oh, who is that? Benton putting on a move on the tour. Now up to P5. Now he's chasing down Howell and Kyler. Let's check in on our leader. O'Donnell's now put a 4-second gap on P2. Very nice rhythm for Mr. Benton here. Definitely closing the gap to Mr. Howell ahead. Gap is now down to 1.2 seconds. Ooh, definitely closed the distance quite a lot through there. Ooh, looks like Kyler made a mistake. Mr. Howell trying to hang it around the outside. I don't know that he's... Oh, it does look like he cleared him. But Mr. Benton also is going to catch Kyler here as well, it looks like. And he does. He completes the overtake. Now moves up to P4 and has Howell in his sights just ahead. Going to be going... Oh, yep. And he pulls off that move around the outside on Howell as well. Oh, looks like Howell went a little deep there, but he is able to hold on to P4. Oh no, when P2 spun out. Minier to the back. Minier all the way back to P9. Let's see if he can work his way back up the field here. We do have just under 20 minutes left in the race. O'Donnell has built a substantial lead on the rest of the field here. Oh, and Fobert goes around. Oh, he might even lose out to... Oh, no. No, he's... So he's going to fall back to P9. Our leader, O'Donnell, has a 9.4 second lead on Benton. Built quite a gap, but there is still time for Benton to get up there. I can't quite tell if this is just kind of an audio bug here, but it sounds like Minier is just on the absolute ragged edge of having massive oversteer every time he turns that car. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but some nice racing here between these three. Oops, Saunders looks like he's trying to sell Riviera a dummy here. Oh, Saunders up the inside of Riviera. Takes P6. Nice exit from Minier. Looks like he's going to get past him. Kind of sounded like Riviera let off the gas there. I'm not entirely sure what that was about. Let's go back over here to this battle between Kyler and Howell. Benton has pulled away from these two a little bit, and looks like he's making some progress. Oh, Kyler's off track. Yeah, he's going to be struggling for the next couple of corners because of all the grass on his tires now. We've got somebody, Olivia's on the pit lane. I don't know if he had damage or... Not entirely sure what happened to him there. Oh, and it looks like Saunders got back around. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's Latour up there. Okay. Yeah, Benton's definitely closed the gap on O'Donnell. Now only down to an 8.5 second lead for O'Donnell. hard on the brakes. But definitely seems to make a tad bit of time on Saunders there. Looks like we're about to have ourselves a three-way battle for 5th position. Latour seems he kind of goes halfway defensive here, block off Saunders. And he's going to have the slipstream here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to put a move on Saunders. It might be. Okay, Saunders kind of just left the door open there, but Minier wasn't able to capitalize. Still with 13 minutes left in the race, it wouldn't surprise me if these guys are still being just a tad bit cautious. Well, we've got something developing back here with Faubert and Rivera. I'm not entirely sure what happened with Rivera here. He just, all of the pace just kind of seemed to leave his car. I'm not really sure if he's made a mistake on the amount of fuel he took or something. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what he's doing. Let's go back to the battle here. Oh, Minier up the inside of Saunders. We may have some stewards review that move there, because it looked like Saunders had kind of gone off track there and gained an advantage around the outside on Minier. So I'm not entirely sure if they're going to let that one stick or not, but we'll see. Oh, Latour off track. Oh no. That was unfortunate. Latour all the way back to P10. Poor Saunders got involved in that as well. Also got passed by Faubert, it looks like. So he's back down to P7. Benton has now decreased the gap to 7.4 seconds to O'Donnell. Benton also currently has the fastest lap of the race at 1:59.64. There is 10 minutes left in the race, but I do think that if Benton's going to want to catch O'Donnell up there, that he is going to have to kind of put a bit of a move on, or O'Donnell's going to have to make a mistake. Let's check in on O'Donnell's lap times here. So O'Donnell's best lap is a 1:59.9 up until this point. So Benton technically has a 3/10 advantage, but depending on each driver's consistency and how they're able to get on, I don't think that Benton's going to have enough time. Hopefully O'Donnell doesn't have trouble with Olivia here. Minier still holding off Faubert. looked like he wanted to go for a move there, but decided not to. You might start seeing some more aggressive moves here in the next couple minutes as this race kind of draws to a close, so we'll see what happens. Kyler's still holding on to Mr. Howell here. Howell kind of drives that one in deep a little bit. Doesn't get the best of exits, but then again, neither does Kyler, unfortunately. Fobert gets a good exit here. I think he's going to be close enough to go for a move if he decides to. But Minier's kind of going defensive. Oh. Up the inside. Yeah, he is going to push his way in there. Fobert letting him know that he's there in his mirror. Ooh, over the sausage curb. That is not the most pleasant thing in the world. Looks like Saunders now coming back at Fobert because there's a sausage curb mistake there. Ooh, almost had contact between Saunders and Fobart there. Minier goes a little wide. Fobert gets a run. I don't think he's going to be able to do much through Maggots and Beckett's here, but Fobert tries to get a good exit, but Minier seems to have gotten the same exit he did, so I don't think he's going to be able to make up any time there. Benton now only 5.5 seconds back from O'Donnell. His last lap time was pretty much a 2-minute flat. Looks like O'Donnell's last lap time was a 2:01.2, so he must have made a mistake there during his last lap. Kyler now up on Howell. Kyler might just be close enough to go for a move here. Kyler sticking to that apex. Depending on what vehicle you're in there around left field, sometimes taking a late apex around there can be faster. But some of these mid-engine cars, like the McLaren and Ferraris, actually just riding that inside apex curve is actually faster than doing more of a V-shaped corner entry and exit for those mid-engine cars. Fobart's still lurking in Minier's mirrors here. By the way, if I'm butchering these people's names, I completely apologize. Hopefully not, but there is a huge possibility. With only 5 minutes left in the race, some of these drivers might start getting aggressive with their moves, so we might start to see some action here. Kind of a hard break from Fobert there. Benton now only 4.7 seconds back from O'Donnell. Ooh, Howell a little wide there. Kyler gets a much better run there through Kopp's corner. Howell with a decent exit there. A little bit of oversteer for Kyler. Only 2 minutes left in this session. Let's see if Kyler can get a good exit onto the Wellington straight here. Might be able to put a move on. Oh no, and he makes a mistake. O'Donnell's still with the 4-second lead over Benton. Unless he makes a mistake, I don't think Benton's going to be able to catch him for the race win. Great showing from Benton so far. Started in P12, now all the way up to P2. Minier goes wide, goes off track, so does Fobert. Fobert with the run though. Olivia just in the picture here. Olivia off track. I think this might just be the end of the race here. O'Donnell is going to get the race win with Benton just 3.7 seconds behind. O'Donnell got out in front from the beginning and just held the lead. Minier on the defense. Fobart right there. I don't think Fobart's going to be able to do it. Minier's going to win that battle and get P5 here. Latour comes through P10. And that is the end of the race. Benton with the fastest lap of the race. O'Donnell is going to be your race winner. Let's take a look at the timetables here. Benton fastest lap of the race with a 1:59.6. Decent race showing from O'Donnell and Benton, starting in P12 and working his way all the way back up to P2. So that is the end of round 6 of the Elite Sunday Sprints. Round 7 will be at the Nürburgring GP. And that will be next week. Let me see if I have a date here. That will be the 5th, which will be at Nürburgring. Once again, everyone, my name is Killer. Thank you for joining us for the Sunday Sprints presented by Elite Motorsports, and we will see you next week.